Ma Ying-jeou is a politician who served as the President of the Republic of China from 2008 to 2016. His previous political roles include Justice, Minister and Mayor of Taipei. He was also the chairman of the Kuomintang between 2005 to 2007 and 2009 to 2014. Ma first won the presidency by 58.45% of the popular vote in the presidential election of 2008, and was re-elected in 2012 with 51.6% of the vote. He was sworn into office as president on the 20th of May 2008, and sworn in as the chairman of the Kuomintang on the 17th of October 2009. He resigned as chairman of Kuomintang on the 3rd of December 2014. Early life. Ma and his parents originate from Hunan province of the Republic of China, with Hakka ancestry, descended from the Han Dynasty General Ma Yuan and Three Kingdoms era General Ma Chao. He was born in Kwonghua Hospital in Kowloon, Hong Kong on the 13th of July 1950. Ma was born in Hong Kong, during the process of his parents escaping from Hunan province to Taiwan after the Chinese Civil War. In a family of 5 children, Ma was the only son. Ma earned his LL.B. degree from National Taiwan University in 1972. He pursued advanced studies in the United States, first earning an LL.M. degree from New York University Law School in 1976 and then an S.J.D. degree from Harvard Law School in 1981. An edited version of his thesis on the Senkaku Islands dispute was published in 1984. After receiving his master's, Ma worked as an associate for a Wall Street law firm in New York and as a legal consultant for a major bank in Massachusetts in the U.S. before completing his doctorate. In 1981, Ma returned to Taiwan and started working for President Chiang Ching-kuo. Ma is married to Christine Chow, and the couple has 2 daughters. Leslie was born in 1981 in New York when Ma was attending Harvard. She completed her undergraduate studies in life sciences at Harvard University and then her graduate studies at New York University. Ma's younger daughter is Kelly, who was born in Taiwan and completed her undergraduate studies at Brown University in Rhode Island. Ma and his wife sponsor children of low-income families in El Salvador through World Vision. On an official trip to Central America in June 2009, Mrs. Ma was able to meet with one of her sponsored children, an 11-year-old boy in San Salvador. Ma is the uncle of Ying-jeou, an American, a former U.S. Army Special Forces captain and the author of the Yellow-Green Beret, Stories of an Asian American Stumbling Around U.S. Army Special Forces series of books. Yu was instrumental in negotiating, locating and working to free Taiwanese citizen Chiang and Wei from Abu Sayyaf militants with Filipino Special Forces and private security contractors. In 2013, controversy over birthplace. On the 11th of December 2008, Democratic Progressive Party legislator Chai Tong-rong called a press conference and produced a document that alleges Ma's birthplace to be contrary to what is officially reported. On this document, the birth certificate for one of Ma's daughters, Ma fills out Shenzhen as his own birthplace, contradictory to his officially reported birthplace of Hong Kong. Chai also noted that First Lady Christine Chou's birthplace was listed as Nanking, China, though she is listed as also being born in Hong Kong. Chai claimed that since Ma was born after 1949 and in Shenzhen, he is legally a citizen of the People's Republic of China. Presidential spokesperson Yu Kai-wang responded to legislator Chai's charges by reaffirming that all information information from the president's office regarding the president's birth is accurate. Wang also informed that Ma, on his the 11th of December visit to Hong Kong, was able to obtain records of his birth at Kowloon's Kwong-Wah Hospital, and Ma also keeps the original of his birth certificate issued by the Registrar General of Hong Kong, thereby confirming once again his birth in the former British colony instead of mainland China. Copies of Ma's birth certificate have also been previously shown to the public. Wang also dispelled rumors that Ma had received affirmative action in his applications to Jiang'o High School and the National Taiwan University, with an overseas Chinese status. For that, neither President Ma nor his critics was able to provide a definitive proof. The issue of affirmative action remains open. Rise in politics. Mao Ying-jeou started working for President Chiang Ching-kuo as deputy director of the First Bureau of the Presidential Office and the President's English interpreter. Mao was later promoted to the chair of the Research, Development and Evaluation Commission under the Executive Yuan at the age of 38, becoming the youngest cabinet member in the ROC government. Mao was Deputy Secretary General of the KMT from 1984 to 1988, also serving for a period as Deputy of the Mainland Affairs Council, a cabinet-level body in charge of cross-strait relations. President Lee Teng-hui appointed him ROC Justice Minister in 1993. Mao was relieved of his post in 1996. His supporters claimed that firing was caused by his efforts at fighting corruption among politicians and the police. He remained a supporter of the Kuomintang, rather than supporting the new party formed by KMT supporters who campaigned on an anti-corruption platform. Ma returned to academia, and most people at the time believed his political career to have effectively ended. Mayoralty. In 1998, the KMT fielded Ma to challenge the then-incumbent Taipei Mayor Chen Shui-bian of the opposition Democratic Progressive Party, who was seeking re-election. Despite Chen's public approval rating of around 70%, he was defeated. In the 2000 presidential election, Ma remained loyal to the KMT and supported its candidate, Lien Chan, over James Soong, who had bolted from the party and was running as an independent. The competition between Lien and Soong split the Pan-Blue vote and allowed his former rival Chen to win the presidential election with less than 50% of the popular vote. The election result, combined with other factors, incited a great deal of anger against Ma when he tried to dissuade discontented Lien and Soong supporters from protesting by appealing to them in his dual capacities as Taipei City Mayor and a high-ranking KMT member. Ma was able to repair the political damage and, in December 2002, became the leading figure in the KMT by easily winning re-election as mayor of Taipei with the support of 64% of Taipei voters, while the PP challenger, Li Ying-yuan, received 36%. His solid victory, especially in light of opposition from both President Chen and former President and KMT Chairman Lee Teng-hui, led many to speculate about his chances as the KMT candidate for the 2004 presidential elections, although nothing came of it. Ma again dissuaded angry Pan-Blue supporters from protesting. Following the very close re-election victory of President Chen in 2004 after the 3-19 shooting incident, Ma chose not to join in calls to challenge or contest the election. Ma also avoided associating himself with claims that the assassination was staged. Ma suffered some political damage as a result of the SARS epidemic in early 2003 and was criticized for not mobilizing the Taipei city government quickly enough and for keeping Chu Shu-ti, the public health director, who was previously criticized for her lack of concern for the outbreak. Flooding in metropolitan Taipei in 2004 also led to public questioning of his leadership and caused Ma's approval rating to slide. During his time as Taipei's mayor, Ma had many conflicts with the central government over matters such as health insurance rates and control of the water supply during the drought. Ma also was implicated in a scandal of Taipei Bank stock releases in 2003. However, the case was dismissed after an investigation by the Taipei prosecutor. He was strongly criticized by the DPP for not allowing the ROC national flag to be flown along with the PRC flag during Asian Women's Football Championship held in Taipei. Ma responded that he was merely following Olympic protocol, which only officially recognizes the Chinese Taipei Olympic flag and forbids ROC national flags from being shown in an Olympic Games stadium. His initiatives in administering the city of Taipei include changing the transliterations of street names and the line and stations of the Taipei Metro to Hanny Pinyin, as opposed to Tongyong Pinyin. Ma has expressed mild support for Chinese reunification and opposition to Taiwan independence. He opposed the 2004 referendum, which had been widely criticized by the US and PRC. Nevertheless, his opposition to the anti-secession law of the People's Republic of China, while other leaders of his party remained silent on the issue, led to him being banned from visiting Hong Kong to make a public speaking tour in 2005. He also criticized the PRC for the Tiananmen crackdown. Ma's cross-political following has led some to note him as a rare example of relative civility in the notoriously rough-and-tumble world of Taiwanese politics. Ma has generally avoided being accused of using the vitriolic and sometimes offensive rhetoric common in Taiwanese political debate. His academic background and bearing have helped cultivate the image of Ma as an honest, dispassionate technocrat. Despite this reputation, and his wooden speaking style and shy demeanor, Ma is also considered a charismatic figure and is popular among women and youth. On the other hand, Ma's critics claim that Ma, overeager to appear unbiased and/or neutral, is overly indecisive and lacks bold vision. Ma is often accused of avoiding being out in front on some of the more vigorous controversial criticisms of President Shen or opposing parties, or involving himself in intra-party disputes. Among these critics, Ma has been referred to as a non-stick pan or Teflon man. Recently, there has also been some criticism of his stumping for election candidates suspected of and later indicted for corruption charges. Many in the Pan-Green coalition expressed opinions that Ma misled voters by lending his clean, charismatic image to unscrupulous candidates in his own party. In recent years, Ma has increasingly employed Taiwanese in public speaking, perhaps to avoid backlash for his parents' mainland China origins, and he has called himself a child of banker, identifying himself with the historic district of Taipei where he grew up. Others claim that Ma's mainland Chinese ancestry will further alienate members of the KMT who are light blue versus the pro-unification, deep blue, mayoral controversies. While often nicknamed as Teflon Pot for his extreme preservation of personal image, Ma was nonetheless caught in some political controversies. A series of mishaps during his tenure as the mayor of Taipei, including the administration problems that enlarged the extent of the typhoon Nari, the shutdown of Hoping Hospital, the phosgene incident, the scalping incident, and the human ball scandal, impaired Ma's reputation. However, Ma maneuvered through these incidents relatively unscathed. One of Ma's most satisfactory mayoral construction was the Mayo-Kong gondola. However, the frequent breakdown of the gondola earned the residents' distrust of the new transportation system. One poll showed only 14% of the Taipei city residents were satisfied with it, and it even led to protests. The Taiwan Environmental Information Center states that the choice to use a gondola lift intended for temperate zones in a tropical zone shows the failure of the Taipei city government led by Ma. Corruption allegations. On the 14th of November 2006, Ma was questioned by prosecutors over his alleged misuse of a special expenses account as Taipei mayor. This occurred after Chen Shui-bian was being investigated for corruption, and many KMT supporters believed that this prosecution was politically motivated. At the same time, rumors surfaced that former party chairman Lian Chen would run in the presidential election of 2008. The incident may have affected the clean image of Ma and his political future. The next day, Ma admitted one of his aides forged receipts to claim Ma's expenses as Taipei mayor, and apologized for the latest political scandal. However, Ma argued that he, like most other government officials, regarded the special expense account as supplemental salary for personal expenses undertaken in the course of official duties, and that his use of this account was legal. On the 13th of February 2007, Ma was indicted by the Taiwan High Prosecutor's Office on charges of allegedly embezzling approximately $11 million. Regarding the issue of special expenses while he was mayor of Taipei, the prosecutor's office said that Ma had allegedly used government funds for personal use, such as paying for one of his daughter's living expenses while studying abroad and paying for his household utilities. Before that, Ma had admitted personal usage and claims that the special funds were simply a part of his salary but had used all funds for public use, a public benefit. Shortly after the indictment, he submitted his resignation as chairman of the Kuomintang in accordance with party rules which prohibit an indicted person from serving as KMT chairman. The resignation was initially rejected but then accepted by the party's Central Standing Committee before amending a clause that barred members from running for office if charged with a crime. Shortly after the resignation, however, Ma announced his presidential candidacy. On the 14th of August 2007, the Taipei District Court found Ma not guilty of corruption. Ma's defense is that he viewed special expenses as essentially special allowance, originally designed to compensate for Ma's social spending without actually raising salary. On the 28th of December 2007, the Taiwan High Court found Ma again not guilty of graft charges. On the 24th of April 2008, the Supreme Court cleared Ma of corruption charges, delivering a final ruling in this matter before his inauguration on the 20th of May 2008. The island's highest court said Ma had neither collected illegal income nor tried to break the law. Ma's secretary, however, was found guilty and faced a year in prison for his own failures in administrative duties. KMT chairmanship. Ma's prestige increased after the loss by Lian Chen in the 2004 ROC presidential election, as he is widely seen as the successor of Lian Chen. His handling of the post-election demonstrations of the Pan-Blue Coalition, in which he at one point sent riot police to control the demonstrations of his Pan-Blue Party supporters, was generally seen as impartial. In 2005, Ma and Wang Jinping were candidates in the first competitive election for KMT chairmanship. On the 5th of April 2005, in an exclusive interview with CTV talk show host Sissy Chen, Ma said he wished to lead the opposition Kuomintang with Wang, if he were elected its chairman, as the support base is a complementary. On the 16th of July 2005, Ma defeated Wang by 72 22% to 28% margin, a margin larger than anticipated by either camp or news sources. Despite Wang receiving a last-minute endorsement by the People First Party chairman James Soong, who had retained significant following within the KMT, some, particularly the supporters of Wang Jinping, accused Ma of unfairly implying that Wang is involved in black gold and criticized Ma's aides for being rude to Wang during the campaign. After the election, Ma had stated repeatedly that he wishes Wang to remain as first-ranked deputy chairman. Wang, however, has so far rebuffed the gesture, instead stating that he wishes to serve as a permanent volunteer. Wang has, indeed, accepted a party post that is incompatible with vice-chairmanship, effectively ending the possibility that he would be vice-chairman, although after meeting with Wang, Ma had stated that he would leave the position open for Wang. Ma has also repeatedly stated that he had no plans to resign from the Taipei mayorship, even after he formally took over the chairmanship from incumbent Ying-jeou during the 17th Party Congress of the KMT in August 2005. Led by Ma Ying-jeou, the Kuomintang made a resounding win in the 3-in-1 election held on 3 December 2005. The KMT gained 6 more seats in the mayoral magistratical race, from 8 seats in the last election, to a total of 14 seats. Before the election, Ma swore that he would quit the chairmanship if his party could not win over half of the seats, which was a first for a KMT chairman. It was a decisive win for Ma Ying-jeou as well, since he took over the party chairmanship only 110 days before. In the election, the KMT won back the counties of Taipei and Yilan, and the city of Chiayi, which had been the Democratic Progressive Party's strongholds for over 20 years. It was the first time in many years that the KMT regained popularity as far south as Zhoushui River. 2008 presidential campaign. On the same day he resigned as chairman of the KMT, Ma also announced his intention to run in the 2008 presidential election. He was the official nominee of the Kuomintang for the 2008 presidential election. Ma visited India and Singapore in June 2007 to increase bilateral exchanges as well as to gain legitimacy and experience for his 2008 presidential bid. Ma's vice-presidential running mate was former Premier Vincent Su, Lian Chan's running mate in the 2000 presidential election. During a campaigning event in an Aboriginal community, Ma made a controversial remark. Responding to a question from an Aboriginal woman, Ma said, "If you come into the city, you are a Taipei citizen. Aborigines should adjust the mentality. If you come into the city, you have to play by its rules." Quote. This statement was thought to be extremely inappropriate. U.S. green card issue Democratic Progressive Party candidate Frank Xie questioned Ma for his possession of a U.S. permanent resident card. Ma denied having one and publicly expressed that no members of his family had one. However, the fact that Ma and his wife had applied for green cards and that his sisters and his elder daughter Leslie Vi Chung Ma are United States citizens, caused controversy, as the DPP continued to question Ma's loyalty to the country. In response to the DPP attack on the U.S. citizenship of his sisters and daughter, Ma commented that having a U.S. passport or green card did not necessarily mean that someone was not loyal to Taiwan. A week before the presidential election, incumbent President Chen Shui-bian vowed to quit if Ma could provide legal documents of the invalidation of his green card. The DPP presidential candidate Frank Xie also said that he was willing to withdraw from the race if Ma could prove, using official documents, that his green card was invalidated 20 years ago. Ma responded the next day to the president that he should work on improving Taiwan's economy instead of caring about the election so much. Earlier, Ma also provided copies series of U.S. non-immigrant visas issued to him during the 1980s and 1990s, claiming the card was invalid, as such visas are not issued to green card holders. Environmental criticism. Ma has been criticized by many environmental groups. His mayoral construction of the Maokong gondola was criticized by the Taiwan Environmental Information Center. The construction of the Taipei Arena also drew negative reactions from these groups. The Society of Wilderness pointed out that of the 384 trees that were moved for the construction, more than 100 had already died. The city government said that the ages of the trees are unknown, therefore, they are not protected by law. The SO then responded that, according to pictures taken by the United States Air Force in 1947 and 1948, these trees were present already during the Japanese rule era. During his presidential campaign, Ma participated in one of the debates that discussed many topics, including environmental protection. The Taiwan Academy of Ecology evaluated the policies of both candidates Xie and Ma, and the secretary of its workstation in Taipei said that both candidates failed their expectations, but they had more hope for Xie than Ma because Ma's environmental concepts lack considerations of reality. In February 2008, several environmental groups created a list of commitments for the two candidates to sign. DPP candidate Frank Xie agreed to all the items on the list and signed it in March. Ma did not and emailed the group instead. The Taiwan Environmental Protection Union criticized Ma for ignoring important issues and not having the guts to sign the commitments. After Ma was elected president on the 22nd of March 2008, the Green Party Taiwan expressed its fear that President-elect Ma would focus too much on improving the economy and would ignore many critical environmental issues. The head of the Environmental Quality Protection Foundation also emphasized the importance of environmental protection as one of the factors of economic development.